How are you all? So in yesterday's topic, we have discussed the xerophytic plants and adaptation of xerophytic plants. Today we will discuss about the animals that live in xeric conditions. The xeric conditions means dry environmental conditions. Xeric conditions means dry environmental conditions. Okay, so that is why desert area is called as xeric condition. Okay, because their humidity is very less in the atmosphere, the amount of moisture is very less, and the climate is very dry. That's why. So the animals that live in xeric conditions, we are discussing about camel. Then we'll discuss about other organisms like moles that live in desert, and we'll discuss about rattlesnake. After that we'll discuss about kangaroo rat, sand goose, sand goose, and then we'll discuss about fennec fox. Okay, so these are the animals which we will discuss today in our topic. First, let us talk about camel. Camel is an organism which is adopted from top to bottom. It has many adaptations to live in desert because it is a cattle of desert. So it is also called as sheep of desert. What are the adaptations? Starting from eyes will talk. Eyelashes are long. Eyelashes are long. These long eyelashes prevent the entry of sand. See, there are regular sand dunes in the desert, and sand usually flies to a great height. To avoid that, sand into its eyes, its eyelashes are very long to prevent sand. Okay. And next, it has a hump to store fat. Blood stores water. Hump stores fat and blood stores water. It has nostrils. The muscles of these nostrils are voluntary. That means it can open the nostrils and close its nostrils on its own will. Whenever there is a sand dune, it can close its nostril. Whenever there is normal condition, it can open its nostril. Legs are long. Legs are long to protect from heat of sand. Okay. Apart from this, there are other adaptations also. Hair on the skin is very less hair on skin, and sweat pores are very rare, very less sweat pores. Sweat pores are rare. Rare means very less. Why these two? To prevent sweating. To prevent sweating. And legs are padded. Padded legs helps it to walk in sand. To walk in sand. Okay, so these are the various adaptations that are seen in camel. So from eyes, legs, everything, we have seen that there are so many adaptations that are seen in camel. Okay, next organism is mole, the desert rat. Okay, usually the surface of sand is very hot due to heat of sun. but this lower layers have some moisture and they are cold. So what this mole does is it goes inside the deep layers and it moves inside this deep layers only. Okay. Whenever there is any special need only, it will come out of sand. It can keep itself moist, or it can avoid dehydration by staying inside the sand. Okay. This is the adaptation that is seen in desert moles. Next organism is rattlesnake. The name rattlesnake suggests that it makes a rattle sound at the end of the snake's tail. There is a rattle like this. So it makes sounds. This rattle moves to make sounds. Okay. This snake is called as rattlesnake because it moves this rattle to attract prey. To attract prey. Okay, because of this sound, the prey gets attracted, and this rattlesnake will hunt that prey and have it as its feed. Okay. How does it move in sand is, it moves sideways. Okay. When it is moving like this part touches ground. This part touches ground. And this side it moves, it is in air. Okay. This side is in air. This is in air, this touches the ground. So when it is moving, it touches it. This is the ground. It touches the ground and it moves the body in the air. It touches the ground, it moves the body in the air. Whenever it touches the ground, it applies pressure on the body, with which it moves forward, and the remaining part, very less part of body touches the sound. So in that way it avoids the hot sand. To avoid hot sand. To avoid hot sand, it touches the ground sideways. It does not touch its entire body on the ground. It touches the ground only sideways. Okay. To avoid sand, it touches ground only in side waves or sideways, you can say. Okay. Next one is kangaroo rat. Kangaroo rat is a very peculiar creature. You know that camel can live without water in hot desert for more than 3 months, approximately 3 months. But do you know kangaroo rat is an organism which can survive without water for how much time do you think? It can survive without water for its entire life. For its entire life. So how does it get water then? Okay. Every food material has some moisture in that. This moisture is the source of water for this organism. Source of water. It does not sweat. It does not sweat. It gives out solid urine. Even lizards, you can observe when lizards are shitting, one small white color round will be formed. That is the urine of that lizard. In that way, they avoid water loss from the body. Okay. It does not sweat. It does not. It makes solid urine, and it does not dehydrate. So in this way, this kangaroo rat is able to survive its entire life without water. Okay, one thing I'll say here, the kangaroo rat, the name of the kangaroo rat. What is the specialty of the animal kangaroo? It has a baby pouch and it carries baby in that pouch. This kangaroo rat specialty is it has pouch on sides of cheek. sides of cheek. To store nuts. To store nuts. Extra one nut it will eat, another nut it will put in the pocket, and it will move from wherever when it goes to collect the food. It eats some of the nut, it puts some of the nuts in its pocket that is present in the sides of cheek, and then it moves. So that is why it is called as kangaroo rat. Next organism, sand grouse. Sand grouse is a bird like, it looks like a pigeon. Sand grouse is a bird equal to the size of pigeon. It has a small pouch in its lower side of its beak. Okay, its beak has small crop. Okay, this is the entire bird. Its beak has a small crop. Like this it looks. This is a different color, this is a different color. So a small crop is present. It can carry water. One thing, it can carry water for long distance. It can fly over long distance. It can fly over long distance. Until it finds an oasis. See, usually birds cannot fly to greater distances. After some time, their wings will get tired and they need time to rest. Sometimes if they have to swim over long distances, like a river is coming in the middle or an ocean is there, birds die because they cannot gather energy to keep on flying. But this bird can fly to a larger distances as long as it finds an oasis to carry water. It keeps on flying. That is a specialty of sand grouse. And finally, we'll discuss about fennec fox. Fennec fox is a desert fox. Its sole has fur. Sole means feet, end of the feet. Feet do not have fur. If you see a fox, you know that feet do not have fur. They are simply like this. Okay. But for fennec fox, this sole, there is as a fur also over this. This fur protects it from hot sand. Protects from hot sand. Okay. Apart from all these adaptations, desert organisms are mostly nocturnal. What do you mean by nocturnal organisms? Nocturnal organisms are active during the night time. Nocturnal organisms are active during night. And diurnal organisms are active during daytime. But these organisms which live in desert and some insects like cricket, firefly, and some fishes like cuttlefish, some animals like bats, owl, rats are active during the night time. So these are all the nocturnal organisms. Keeping their body active during the night prevents the excess water loss due to dehydration of hot sun. So in desert, one problem is the hot sun that is rising from up top of us, and second thing is the sand which is very hot. So the heat is seen from both directions, and it leads to very heavy dehydration, loss of water from the body. So to avoid that, these organisms are active during the night time, In that way, they can avoid dehydration of the body and preserve their body's water. Okay. So that is about the adaptation of different xeric animals. In our next class, we'll discuss about adaptations in aquatic organisms. Okay, children, bye.
Good morning, children. Today we shall learn about the adaptation in the desert habitat. We have learnt about many habitats and how many animals have succeeded to overcome many challenges to survive. In few habitats, the conditions are too harsh, like the polar region, deserts, etc. We have already learnt about the polar region, so let us learn about the desert where the water is scarce, the temperature is extreme, and hardly any or very few plants are available. First of all, to live in the desert, the animals and the plants must learn to survive with very little water, and they have to conserve the water too. You know, the kangaroo rat can live on water they get from the food itself. Its favorite food is the seed, which can absorb the moisture from the air. Many kangaroo rats can live its whole life without even drinking water. It doesn't sweat. Its body produces concentrated urine to conserve the water. Even in reptiles like snake, the excreted waste from body is semi-solid uric acid to conserve the water. The herbivore camel also gets the water from its food. It has thick lips so it can chew the prickly desert plants which store water without feeling much pain. The camel can drink more than 40 liters of water at a time and go many days, even weeks, without drinking. It stores the fat in its hump and that acts as a food reserve, so it can survive many days without eating or drinking. Now, the next challenge is the extreme temperature. 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very high fever for a human body, is just normal for a camel. The desert animals like the camel, snake, kangaroo rat, etc. can tolerate high temperatures. The kangaroo rat, fennec fox, snake, and many other desert animals live in the underground burrow or the den during the day to avoid scorching heat of the sun. The long ears of the fennec fox also helps to dissipate heat. And what about plants? The plants have also adapted to this extreme climate. The plants also need to conserve or store water. And how do they do it? In the cactus, the leaves turn into spine to stop water loss through the transpiration. Hence, in the cactus, it's the green stem that performs the job of preparing the food, which means the photosynthesis is carried in the stems of the cactus plant. You know, the cactus stem is not only green but it is fleshy too, and it can store water for long period. The roots of the desert plants are spread far out in reach of water and can quickly catch even a small amount of water. These are the pictures of Sahara Desert in Africa. It is the hottest desert of the world. So now you know how the animals and the plants adapt to the extreme climate of the deserts. Bye bye, children.
Okay, children, that is it for today. I hope you have followed it. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through my number, message me through WhatsApp number. Keep yourself safe, healthy, and also study well, children. Bye.